Ghostbusters, cultural phenomenon, 80s powerhouse. The franchise had dominated many a child's Christmas list with dreams of reenacting their favourite movie and having ghostly adventures of their own. But what could be closer to being an actual Ghostbuster than playing a Ghostbuster in a video game? Now, I was born in 91, so I was hardly there for the initial hype. Hell, the second film had even come out before I was born. I don't remember exactly what age I jumped on, but once I did, I was hooked. Luckily for me, I have an older brother, and what does that mean? Hand-me-down toys, of course, and luckily for me, Ghostbusters had got him as well. So I had me a Proton pack, some action figures, pretty sure we had either the Ecto-1 or the Firehouse, shit, maybe both. Either way, I was having a certified good time. I must have watched that VHS copy 100 times. Surprised the damn tape didn't snap. Not to mention the tape from TV copy of Ghostbusters 2 I recorded, adverts and all. I know the sequel is contentious, but I'll get there. But what I really loved to play was the video game on our Sega Master System. This is what most people of my generation think of when they think of old Ghostbuster games. Well, this or that platform with the bobblehead design, but we didn't have that shit. We had this. Now, I have no doubt that all I really did was drive around the map screen, maybe got to a ghost screen, but I sure as shit didn't know what I was doing. So while that game holds a nostalgic place in my psyche, I hold no illusions about it, it's a bit shit. Enough people have gone over its flaws, and conversely, the bobblehead Mega Drive Ghostbusters seems to be the one that most people will point to as the good Ghostbusters game. Now don't get me wrong, I don't think the 1990 Mega Drive Ghostbusters game is bad. Seems to be a pretty solid video game, but I don't like it. Yeah, doesn't do it for me. So where does that leave me? Well, obviously from the video title, it leaves me with New Ghostbusters 2. I didn't find this game until years later, when I first discovered the magic of ROMs and emulation. And finally, I found the Ghostbusters game for me. So I delayed this earlier, but I'll say it now. I love Ghostbusters 2. I know I probably just made a whole bunch of eyes roll, but I do love that movie. Maybe it's because I was so young when I watched it that I just didn't have much of a critical eye and now it's just a case of rose-tinted glasses syndrome. But I don't think so. It has humour I appreciate, effects that freaked me out and impressed my little brain, same old lovable characters, and a soundtrack that kicks ass. So of course I love New Ghostbusters 2 as well. Just as my love of the second film puts me in a minority, so must my love for this game because I don't ever see it brought up. Sure, there are a couple of gameplay vids on YouTube, but it still seems pretty obscure. Even the Angry Video Game Nerd didn't cover it in his free videos on Ghostbusters games way back when, and the nerd doesn't leave much untouched in those videos. Seems Pat the NES Punk did a video on it a few years back, but to be honest, I only know he exists because of Angry Video Game Nerd, and in the spirit of this video being all my own thoughts on the subject, I've not watched the Punk video. Maybe I will after I upload this. So let's talk about the game. Released in December 1990, it seems that it really didn't make much of an impact. I mean, just look at its Wikipedia entry. There's next to nothing there. Even in the reception section, it only gives a single review score, and that's for the Game Boy version. Even on the Ghostbusters wiki, it's basically a copy-paste job, but with a little trivia section. God knows why. Don't get me wrong, it isn't a groundbreaking game, but I still think it's a solid game, especially for the NES generation. So we start at the Firehouse and get to pick two of the Busters. Not only does it have all four core Ghostbusters, but you can even bring Lewis Tully along if you want. Just having Winston as an option is pretty notable with these older games. He just keeps getting screwed over. With some of them you might be able to argue a colour palette issue, but you can't do it for all. Guess Ernie Hudson just wasn't seen as a full Ghostbuster since he came in late in the first film? Now pick your desired Spook Boys and we're straight in, and immediately the music makes an impression. So many 8-bit games have shitty basic loops that this track is more than welcome. To my ears anyway. And this continues from start to finish. You know what else is good? The controls. Simple and responsive. Exactly what you want from a controller that has but 2 buttons and a D-pad. Hit one button to shoot your proton pack at the ghost to hold it in place. Hit the other button for your partner to trap the sucker. So what are we waiting for? Let's bust some ghosts, damn it! So like the controls, the core gameplay is pretty simple. Catch all the ghosts on the screen and move on. Rinse and repeat until a boss fight. The ghost designs are pretty good. You get some familiar spooks, Slimer ghosts, miners from the subway tunnels, their disembodied heads, this jack-o'-lantern guy from the real Ghostbusters, and they have enough variation in patterns and aggression to keep you on your toes. Okay, some of the ghost designs are a bit Games 101. Like this guy, just a pink blob, and those puddles that hop around. But the second film is filled with psychoreactive pink slime, so it gets a pass from me at least. The environments aren't always something to scream about, but they do their job and they aren't ever strictly bad looking. Even when they're not too visually imaginative, like the courthouse and the apartment, they do at least compensate by using the environment. Like these guys. Cheap fucking pink. Back to the music. I already said earlier that I felt the second movie had a great soundtrack, and this game is no different. An individual song for each level, and a couple of just straight 8-bit versions of the songs in the film, and I think they're done really well. You got Flip City for the subway level, We're Back for the River of Slime, and Spirit for the lead up to the Vigo fight. The one for the art museum I think is another track from the film, but I can't quite make it out. Either way, I gotta say, it's a cool piece. Got a real creepy vibe and low key beat. Could see it used for a piece of gore rap or something. That Flip City one though, gotta love it. You can even sing along to it, you know, if you're a loser like me. The only tune used multiple times is the boss theme, and it's so-so, does its job. Vigo gets his own boss theme, which is suitably more intense, but just compare this attention to the soundtrack to other Ghostbusters games that just use the same theme for everything. It just helps this game stand out as more worthy in my opinion. Thanks HAL Laboratory! One thing that can be annoying at times and has led to a few sort of unfair deaths is the reliance on the computer controlled partner. So as I said, you fire your beam at a ghost to immobilize it, then you wait for your partner to get lined up and trap it. Simple. But even simple things can go wrong. Son of a bitch isn't always there quick enough, which is a problem in a multi-ghost situation because they know when you're trapping a nearby ghost friend and they close in on you. Other times the pathing just can't seem to resolve and he just goes for a lap. It's not too bad though, just always seems to happen at the worst times. Typical, eh? So we get 6 levels, all based on the progression of the movie. We have the courthouse, abandoned subway, the apartment, big ass apartment, River of Slime, the Museum of Art, and then taking on Vigo. So in terms of levels, it's not too long, so after a few runs with the patience to watch the patterns, you can get through it as long as your reflexes hold up. You know, that or save states, which I totally never use. Fuck you, crickets, bunch of leggy narcs. Right, so since I brought up save states, I'll talk about the bosses, since they're usually the reason they're needed. First boss. Just hold on to each of them long enough to capture them. Easy. Then the ghost train. Capture all the heads of the train victims and then do a fast double tap on the Slimer conductor. Again, easy. But you can already see the variation. Not just the same old jump on the head 3 times kind of deal. Continuing that theme of variation, the third level doesn't have a singular boss, but multiple mini boss rooms that get progressively more tricky. Not too hard until the last one with multiple ball and chain throwing dicks overlapping each other, and a bunch of jack-o'-lanterns coming at you. So many dicks. The fourth boss is where it starts to get tricky. You gotta defeat a group of fire-breathing pink slime dragons? They just need to be hit with a sustained beam attack, and they disappear, and then come right back. Damn! They just keep coming back! This is a tricky son of a bitch to take down. Boss number 5 is Janosch, and oh my gosh, does he have a massive head. So he splits into 3 and circles around you. The moment you start beaming one of them, the other 2 shoot at you, but just in case you didn't already realise, you can move whilst holding down something with the beam. So it becomes a timing issue. As soon as you hear the sound of the enemy projectiles, move, because they make the school kid error of shooting where you were, not where you are. It takes way more than 3 times and it's so annoying, but bam, hit the last one and free Janosch from his demonic control. Now for the main event. Vicky, old Melonhead himself. He steps out of the painting and it's on. And in reality, it's pretty simple. Just gotta hit him with a sustained beam a few times. But you gotta get the beam on him and step back because he's got some psycho mantis shit flying around him to stop you getting close. Then he does a spread attack. Now, I imagine a normal person wouldn't find this to be a problem, but my god is this my Achilles heel. Son of a bitch. Thank god for save states. And there we go, finish the game and we get some credits hijinks. That's it, Lady Liberty, chase off Vigo. Which brings me to another plus. I love the design of the Ghostbusters. Simple and kinda cute to be honest. Sort of chibi like. Classic sprite design. And Dana and Venkman make it up. It's the little things. So thinking about reasons why this game was largely forgotten, firstly, the length was probably an issue. You were a NES warrior. Is that a thing? The game was probably fairly easy. I mean, hell, recording the footage for this I completed in about an hour. Yes, with save states, but I'm no NES warrior. Secondly, it came out not too long after Ghostbusters 2, and since it seems fans were pretty let down by the film, they probably weren't too hyped to get the game. That's just a speculation, but like I said, at the start, I wasn't even alive! There was also another game based on the film, and that probably didn't help. Seemed to be the thing to do at the time. Not only were there Sega and Nintendo versions of games, but sometimes different studios would make a game for the same film on the same console. So which do you get? How do you know which one's good? You don't know until you've picked. There ain't no internet back then. Fuck it. I would feel very sorry for anyone that picked the other version though. My god, it looks like shit, plays like shit. Why can't I hit this guy? Nice one, Activision. Now this is all just personal observations, all opinion, so I could be wrong on everything. Maybe there is a secret new Ghostbusters 2 following that I just haven't come across. I just wanted to give this game some love that I think it has been deprived of, and maybe introduce it to a couple of people that didn't otherwise know it exists. Well, thanks for watching. Maybe I'll do a video about the second film someday, try and give that film some of the love I think it deserves too. Check out our other videos. They're around here somewhere.